Hello YouTube, my name is Trey, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my Emagine project that I sent in. If you would just want to skip ahead to the tutorial and the actual project, I'll put an annotation on screen. But first off, I'm going to talk a little bit about some things first. So basically for my project, last year I did a typography of The Walking Dead Rick Grimes. And this year I wanted to do the same thing because I felt like I could do even better. This year I decided to do the Jayhawk. In this project that I did, I didn't learn anything new because this was all old information. I remember doing this from last year. I just needed some things to touch up on. But other than that, learning new stuff wasn't really a thing. Basically for this, all I used was Photoshop and the little pen tool, and I just created text and then used that and masked it. My project plan, I followed it pretty well actually, just because I left it vague to begin with. So I created it, and I knew I wanted to do a typography, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So basically my project plan was just saying that I wanted to do a typography, and I said that I was just going to work on it. So it was pretty vague, but I knew that what I wanted to do, just not of what. Next, what went well? I think it went pretty well. The body was probably the most difficult part, just because it had so many edges and so many things to work with. But other than that, it was a good project. You can't really procrastinate on a project like this because really you don't know how long it's going to take you. I didn't know how long the body was going to take me, but I used my time wisely and I got it done. So to start things off, I'm going to start my project and my how-to now. So basically here it is. Here's the before and here's the after. One detail you can notice is that the white lines there, I just covered up over. So I just wrote over them, and then the actual feather there, I actually made a detail of. That's just a decision I made to make it easier to do the lines across and the lines up. And it looks better that way too, I think. So to start things off, here's my final project. I think it looks pretty good. The Jayhawk, or the KU up here, is all about the same text size. Down here you can see it adds a little bit more variety over here and a little bit there. And then the rock chalk is about the same too, which I kind of wanted that so it would show more detail. So here is the actual project in Photoshop. You can tell it looks a little bit different without the masking. So basically over here is my folder with all my final stuff, and then here you see I basically categorized it. So I had the body, the feet, and the beak and head. That just makes it easier, so if I did need to change something in the body, I could go through here and find it. It is very difficult to find things, considering that they are all the same word, but that just is a matter of going through here and doing this, hiding them and finding out which one I want to edit. So basically, the typography is just a use of words or letters to create an object behind it. It's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. Other than that, it's just time consuming. So whenever you're doing a project like this, you need to keep in mind you're going to need a lot of time depending on how much detail you want. The bigger the size, the less detail you get. So I'm going to go through and show you just a little bit about what I did in this project. I'm going to work on the head here a little bit. So as you can see, if I hide that, that's what it looks like without. We'll try and find something easier to work with. Yeah, not that either. That one won't be too bad. So as you can see, basically the basics to typography are right here. You grab your pen tool, and what you want to do is you want it to fit in this big area. So basically what you do is you start it, and then for this I kind of like to do multiple points just so I can bend it. And then once you have that, you'll create a point in the middle, and you'll apple click, and then you'll drag it, and that'll basically bend it. You can see there, it'll bend it in a way. So you can bend that, which worked well with my project, because as you can see here, it's got a lot of bend there, and a lot of bend up there, which works well. So, when you have that bend, then you just click the text bar, and then you go up to here, if it'll load. Basically after that, we'll just hide this for now. After you have that, you should see that your cursor will get like a squiggly line. You don't want it like that because it'll create a text bar going straight across. So you want it to where it gets that squiggly line, and basically you click there, and then for me, I just type in KU, 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 KU. And then kind of depending on what size you want and how big you want it, like I said earlier, how much like good quality you want. And then for me, the size definitely mattered. Sometimes over here, I'd have to go from a bigger font to a smaller one, so I would just take in like the KU, and I would make this one smaller. Maybe go like 6. And then there you go. And then as it goes out, it gets bigger. And that's basically what I did. And that's the basics behind my project. And I hope you learned something and you can try your own.